Moderna never had the virus in their lab. All they needed was that sequence, and they were off to the races. Sequence that was posted from China.
No, they didn't isolate the virus. That's the issue.
Sequence that was posted from China.
Is Illumina Chief Medical Officer Phil Fippo, MD. Thanks so much for your time, Doctor. First of all, I'm going to start with a very dumb question. Can you explain genomic sequencing?
Investigators were using Illumina sequencers to sequence the virus, and they were able to identify it was a novel virus. It would belong to the coronavirus family, and they posted that full-length sequence on January 11th, 2020. Within 48 hours, Laura, Moderna, Pfizer started working on vaccines because they could take that sequence that was posted from China and print out the spike domain that they know from prior coronaviruses is what our body responds to, and start putting that into their vaccine.
No, they didn't isolate the virus. That's the issue.
Screw your freedom.
I'm sorry. I mean, I know people must like to have their individual freedom and not be told to do something, but I think we're in such a serious situation now that under certain circumstances, mandates should be done.
No, screw your freedom. No, screw your freedom.
The SA, or the Sturmabteilung, were known as Sturmtruppen, or stormtroopers within the Nazi Party. The SA was a paramilitary force under control of NSDAP who played a key role in Adolf Hitler's rise to power. The unit was tasked with protecting NSDAP meetings, marching at Nazi rallies, and engaging in numerous political fights on the streets of Weimar Germany, including with the Red Front, which was the Communist Party of Germany's paramilitary force at the time. Many of these SA stormtroopers believed in the socialist promise of National Socialism. They expected the Nazi regime to take more radical economic action, such as breaking up the vast landed estates of the aristocracy once they attained national power, even though this was not at all Hitler's intention. The SA had a full ranking system that was later adopted by other organizations, including the SS. The SA was in disarray and was soon reorganized in 1925. From January 1931 onward, it was headed by Ernst Röhm, who was a radical socialist and dreamed of building the SA into Germany's main military force. Röhm's SA membership swelled to a staggering 400,000 men by 1932, and some estimates say it was perhaps 2 million strong by the time Hitler rose to power in 1933, which made it 20 times the size of the regular army. During the first days of the Nazi regime, the SA carried out street violence against Jews and other Nazi opponents. Röhm continued to press for a second revolution that would involve a socialist takeover of the country. Röhm was also a homosexual, which gave Hitler's party a bad image and could potentially undermine Hitler's messages he wished to deliver to the public. The NSDAP officials, and Hitler himself, grew to despise the SA over the years, as their brutal and thuggish street tactics shed a bad light on the NSDAP, which Hitler was attempting to shape into a respectable and clean political party. This clean and respectable party image was always at odds with the SA and its many unvetted and radical members.
Today, we celebrate extraordinary Americans who have lifted our spirits, strengthened our union, pushed us towards progress.
The recipients included big names in entertainment, sports, art, science, and philanthropy, like Microsoft's Bill and Melinda Gates, Their foundation has provided $36 billion in grants to promote health and combat poverty and hunger. Obama awarded the medal to actors like Tom Hanks, Robert De Niro, and Robert Redford. Comedian and actor Ellen DeGeneres received the medal in an emotional moment. DeGeneres made history when she and her TV character came out as a lesbian. Obama said each recipient had touched him in a personal, powerful way.
The United States was born suspicious of some distant authority.
But let me just jump in. Is it fair to call it a conspiracy? I mean,
well,
there's a lot of people who really believe this deeply, that they just don't. No. They just don't trust you.
I'm sorry, Cooper. Yes, it is fair to call it a conspiracy. What are you saying? Are you suggesting that the notion that we are creating a plot to take everybody's guns away so that we can impose martial law is a conspiracy? Yes, that is a conspiracy. I would hope that you would agree with that. Is that controversial? Except on some websites around the country?
There are certainly a lot of people who just have a fundamental distrust that you do not want to go further and further and further down this road.
Look, I mean, I'm only going to be here for another year. I don't know. When would I have started on this enterprise?
If you can't admire Joe Biden as a person, you've got a problem. He is as good a man as God ever created. So, Joe, for your faith in your fellow Americans, for your love of country, and for your lifetime of service that will endure through the generations, I'd like to ask the military aide to join us on stage. For the final time as president, I am pleased to award our nation's highest civilian honor, the Presidential Medal of Freedom.
No, screw your freedom.